I think we just need to take steps as individuals. We're a super young team. We got a lot of guys, and I think that's exciting. Just we all have so much room to grow, and personally, I can take a step in my game, and all these guys they're starting their careers or a couple years in, take another step. We're going to make it tough on teams, and that's our goal. And
Connor Bedard has made a shocking announcement that no one expected. With the 2025-26 season fast approaching, the 19-year-old Phenom's future in Chicago is now in doubt. His latest comments have left fans, reporters, and analysts reeling. Could this be the end of his time with the Blackhawks? Stay tuned as we break down what just happened and what this means for the future of Bedard and the Blackhawks.
It's an Olympic year, obviously. How much of a motivation is that for you? Open everyone's eyes and say, hey, I'm still here and I want to be on the Olympic team.
Connor Bedard's rise to stardom has been nothing short of spectacular. The young forward, who was selected first overall by the Chicago Blackhawks in the 2023 NHL Draft, quickly became the face of the franchise. In his rookie season, Bedard wasted no time making an impact, racking up 61 points and winning the Calder Trophy as the league's best rookie. By his second season, he was already producing at an elite level with 67 points in 82 games. But as the 2025-26 season approaches, everything has changed. Despite his individual success, the Blackhawks have struggled as a team. After finishing last in the Central Division for 2 straight years, the organization is still in the midst of a rebuilding process. With Bedard entering the final year of his entry-level contract, many have begun to wonder, what's next for the young superstar? In a recent announcement, Bedard broke his silence and revealed exactly what everyone feared. Connor Bedard's contract situation has been a topic of intense speculation. As the first overall pick in 2023, Bedard signed a 3-year entry-level contract with the Blackhawks, which is set to expire at the end of the 2025-2026 season. This means that Bedard is eligible to sign an extension with the Blackhawks starting on July 1st, 2025. The team has expressed interest in keeping Bedard long-term, but the 19-year-old has yet to sign a new deal. In a recent interview, Blackhawks general manager Kyle Davidson confirmed that talks between the team and Bedard's camp have already begun. "We are talking, so I think that's an indicator of an openness to discuss," Davidson said. But while the team seems eager to extend Bedard, the future remains uncertain. In the interview, Davidson also made it clear that no contract extension has been finalized, and the timeline for an agreement is still unclear. The Blackhawks' direction and performance are also key factors in determining Bedard's future with the team. In the same interview, Davidson acknowledged that Bedard's decision to stay in Chicago would depend on the team's ability to build a competitive roster around him. While he has maintained a positive attitude, it's clear that Bedard wants to see the Blackhawks improve. In the same interview, he was asked about the team's future and said, "We're excited for that," referring to the hope that the team will turn things around. The frustration is understandable. Bedard is a generational talent, and he deserves to play on a team that can contend for a championship. Despite the Blackhawks' recent struggles, the team has made moves to improve its roster. During the offseason, the Blackhawks added key players, including forward Andrei Burakovsky from the Seattle Kraken and Sam Lafferty from the Buffalo Sabres. Additionally, the team signed top prospect Anton Frondell to a 3-year entry-level contract. These moves signal that the Blackhawks are serious about surrounding Bedard with more talent in the coming seasons. Bedard's dedication to the Blackhawks is clear. He has maintained a strong bond with the city and its fans, and he understands that rebuilding takes time. But the pressure is mounting, and Bedard's future may ultimately depend on whether the team can surround him with the pieces needed to win. As the 2025-26 season draws closer, the Chicago Blackhawks face some difficult decisions regarding their future and the future of their star player, Connor Bedard. If the team's performance does not improve and they remain at the bottom of the standings, Bedard may be forced to reconsider his options. A team with a generational talent like Bedard should be competitive, and if the Blackhawks cannot provide that, Bedard's loyalty to the franchise may be tested. However, if the Blackhawks can continue to build around Bedard and improve their roster, he may very well stay and become the centerpiece of a future championship team. It's clear that Bedard has the potential to lead the Blackhawks back to prominence, but the team must be committed to putting the right pieces in place. Regardless of what happens with his future in Chicago, Connor Bedard has already had a massive impact on the NHL. His extraordinary talent and work ethic have made him one of the most exciting players to watch in recent years. Bedard's debut season was historic, and he has continued to build on that success. His presence in the NHL has brought a renewed sense of excitement to the league, and the potential for him to lead a team to a championship in the future is a compelling storyline for hockey fans everywhere. With the 2025-26 season fast approaching, the future of Connor Bedard and the Chicago Blackhawks remains uncertain. Bedard's announcement has left fans and analysts questioning what comes next for the young star. The team's performance in the coming seasons will play a significant role in Bedard's decision, and only time will tell whether the Blackhawks can build a team around him that is capable of competing for a Stanley Cup. One thing is clear: Connor Bedard is a generational talent, and wherever he goes, he will make an impact. The next chapter in his career promises to be one of the most exciting in NHL history.
I'd like to officially request a trade to the Toronto Maple Leafs.
This just happened. After weeks of silence, Connor McDavid finally spoke. His words were clear. The rumors didn't stop. Toronto's name came up again and again. McDavid didn't say no. He didn't say yes. He just said what people didn't expect. Now fans, teams, and reporters are talking louder than ever. This all happened just days after the Oilers lost in the Stanley Cup final. Connor McDavid is the captain of the Edmonton Oilers. He's also one of the best hockey players in the world. Right now, he's in the news because of something he said and something he didn't say. It started after the Oilers lost in the 2025 Stanley Cup Final. They played hard but lost in 6 games to the Florida Panthers. They didn't win on their home ice. And once again, Canada did not get a Stanley Cup winner. That makes 32 years in a row. A few days after the loss, McDavid talked to the media. Reporters asked about his future. His contract ends in 2026. He's allowed to sign a new one now, but when asked, he said this: "It's only been a couple of days since the season ended. I'm going to take some time to regroup. I'm going to talk to my agent a little bit and family, but there's no rush on anything like that." There's no rush? That surprised people. Why? Because McDavid can sign a big new deal right now. Other players do that. They don't wait. But McDavid isn't signing yet, and he didn't say he would stay in Edmonton. Fans in Toronto noticed. So did NHL teams. So did the media. Some people now think he might leave Edmonton in 2026 and sign with the Maple Leafs. The talk got so loud that NHL insiders had to explain what was going on. Chris Johnston, a reporter, said there have been no talks yet between McDavid and the Oilers about a new contract. None. That's a fact. Teams don't wait with stars like McDavid, but Edmonton is waiting. And Toronto is listening. Other reporters said the Maple Leafs are one of the few teams that could pay McDavid. His next contract might be worth $85 million. That's about $17 million a year. Toronto has the money. They made moves to free up space. They even traded Mitch Marner to the Vegas Golden Knights. That trade saved money, and that money could go toward McDavid. Austin Matthews is already in Toronto. If McDavid joined him, it would be one of the biggest duos in hockey history. But it's not just about money, it's about timing. McDavid turns 29 in January 2026. He also won the Conn Smythe Trophy this year. Even though his team lost, that means he was the best player in the playoffs. Only a few players have ever done that while losing the finals. So, what does that mean? It means McDavid is playing as well as ever, and he still doesn't have a Stanley Cup. Now people are asking, will he leave Edmonton to try to win somewhere else? Some say yes, others say no. Gene Principe is a longtime Oilers announcer. He said McDavid loves Edmonton. He said McDavid is probably staying, but even he said that could change. Another reporter, Bruce Arthur, said McDavid has many reasons to stay. Edmonton is a strong team. They have young stars like Evan Bouchard. They made the finals. They might do it again. But still, McDavid hasn't signed. He said winning is what matters most. If I feel there's a good window to win here over and over again, then signing is no problem. That's what he said. If McDavid doesn't sign a deal before 2026, he will become a free agent on July 1st of that year. He can go anywhere. Toronto has space. Toronto has Matthews. Toronto has Roots. The Oilers, meanwhile, have said nothing. They haven't started talks with McDavid. Not yet. No official meetings, no updates. And McDavid's agent hasn't made a statement either. That silence means something. That's why people are saying McDavid broke his silence and shocked everyone, because he didn't say yes and he didn't say no. He just opened the door and let the buzz begin.
As you said, yeah, it's only been a couple days since the season ended. Take some time to regroup. Talk to my agent a little bit and family and all that, and make some decisions whenever that time comes, but there's no rush.
Connor McDavid told reporters he wasn't in a rush to talk contracts. Now, weeks later, there's been nothing. With the team in off-season limbo and big names signing elsewhere, McDavid's silence now speaks louder than ever. The Oilers are waiting. The fans are waiting. But the captain still isn't saying anything. McDavid's silence is now a problem. And this silence could change everything for the Edmonton Oilers. Connor McDavid is the captain of the Edmonton Oilers. He is one of the best hockey players in the world. McDavid has played his whole NHL career in Edmonton since the team picked him first in the 2015 NHL Draft. His current contract is an 8-year deal worth $100 million. That deal ends in July 2026. Right now, McDavid still has 1 year left on that contract. He will be allowed to sign a new deal starting on July 1st, 2025. If he does not sign, he becomes a free agent in 2026. That means any team in the league could offer him a deal. But so far, McDavid has not said if he will stay or leave. After the Oilers lost in the 2025 Stanley Cup Final to the Florida Panthers, reporters asked McDavid about his future. He answered, "It's only been a couple days since the season ended. I'm going to take some time to regroup, but there's no rush on anything like that." He also said, "If I feel there's a good window to win here over and over again, then signing is no problem." That was the last time he spoke about it. McDavid's numbers this season were very strong. He had 74 assists in the regular season. He scored 33 points in 22 playoff games. He had 7 goals and 26 assists. His teammate Leon Draisaitl had the same playoff point total, but McDavid still hasn't said what he will do about his contract. The fans don't know. The team doesn't know. Other NHL teams are now watching closely. Stan Bowman is the general manager of the Oilers. He said, "He's the best player in the league, most important player in the league. He's our captain. He's our leader." Bowman said the team's #1 priority is to keep McDavid. He also said the contract talks will happen when McDavid is ready. But NHL free agency is already moving fast. Teams are signing players. The Oilers have to make choices about who to keep, who to sign, and how to build next season's team. But without knowing what McDavid wants, the team can't plan fully. That has caused a problem. If McDavid leaves, it could be a very big problem. The Oilers have made the playoffs 6 years in a row. They made the Stanley Cup Final 2 years in a row, but they lost both times. Some sports writers are saying McDavid might not want to wait much longer. If he doesn't think the team can win soon, he could decide to go somewhere else. Leon Draisaitl, McDavid's teammate and top scorer, signed a new deal last year. That deal is for 8 years and $112 million. If McDavid stays, he will likely make even more. Some reports say McDavid could become the highest-paid player in the league. But that would mean the team has less money to spend on other players. If McDavid stays quiet much longer, the Oilers could be forced to trade him. They won't want to lose him in free agency for nothing. That's why some experts are saying the team needs to know soon. One article said McDavid's silence is wrecking the Oilers' free agency plans. Jeff Jackson is the CEO of the Oilers. He also used to be McDavid's agent. He said the next season will help decide everything. The team will wait, but not forever. Other teams, like the Toronto Maple Leafs and Florida Panthers, are already being mentioned as possible new homes for McDavid. Right now, every NHL team is watching. If McDavid doesn't say anything by the start of the season, the rumors will grow. Teams will begin making offers. Fans will keep asking questions. Even McDavid's teammates might start to worry. The Oilers had a record of 48 wins, 29 losses, and 5 overtime losses this past season. That was good enough to make the playoffs. They went all the way to the finals, but lost to the Panthers in 6 games. McDavid led the team in assists and was one of the top playoff performers in the entire league. But now all of that is in the past. The team needs to know what comes next. Free agents are being signed by other teams. The Oilers can't wait forever. And yet, McDavid says nothing. The pressure is building.
I know people are going to look at that July 1 day and be looking to see if there's anything done. But for me, I'm just not in a rush that way.
Something big is coming to hockey, and it's not just about one team. On July 1st, Connor McDavid will make a move no one saw coming. That move could change how the best players in the league get paid. It will break a rule that stars have followed for years. What happens next may change the NHL forever.
Winning would be it's the most important thing. If I feel that there's a good window to win here over and over again, then signing is no problem.
Connor McDavid is one of the best hockey players in the world. He plays for the Edmonton Oilers. He has scored more than 100 points in many seasons. He has won the MVP award 3 times. He led the Oilers to the Stanley Cup final 2 years in a row. But on July 1st, the big story won't be about goals or assists. It will be about money, contracts, and something much bigger. McDavid signed his last contract in 2017. It was an 8-year deal worth $100 million. That means he has been making $12.5 million every year. This deal ends in 2026. But NHL rules say a player can start talking about a new contract 2 years before the old one ends. So on July 1st, 2025, McDavid will be allowed to sign a new deal. Most top players sign the longest deal possible. That's usually 8 years. It gives them more safety and helps the team plan for a long time. But this time, McDavid is expected to do something very different. Reporters say that McDavid might not want a long contract. Instead, he could ask for a shorter one, maybe just 4 years. Some people even say he could sign for only 2 or 3 years. This is something very few superstars have done. Why would McDavid want a short deal? The answer is the salary cap. The salary cap is the most money a team can spend on its players. This year, the cap is $88 million. Next year, it will go up to $97 million. In a few years, it might go even higher. If McDavid signs a short contract now, he can sign another one later when the cap is much bigger. That means he could make even more money. Other players have done this. Auston Matthews signed a 5-year deal in 2019. In 2023, he signed a 4-year deal. Leon Draisaitl just signed an 8-year deal for $112 million. But McDavid might want something shorter than all of them. Connor McDavid hasn't said much about his plans, but he did say this to NHL.com after the season. "I'm not in a rush to make any decision." He also said, "I need to do what's best for me and my family." These are clues that he is thinking very carefully. The Edmonton Oilers also know what's happening. Their new general manager, Stan Bowman, says he wants to keep McDavid. But McDavid said something important. He said, "If I feel that there's a good window to win here over and over again, then signing is no problem." That means he wants to be sure the team can keep winning. If McDavid signs a short deal, he will be a free agent again in 2029 or 2030. That means other teams will have a chance to try and sign him. Teams like the Maple Leafs, Panthers, Kings, and Flyers might all be watching. If McDavid becomes a free agent, they might try to get him. Experts are saying this could change how NHL contracts work. Sports writer Pierre LeBrun said, "There's a good chance McDavid will sign a shorter deal instead of an 8-year max one." ESPN's Greg Wyshynski said, "It's not just about money, it's about power and timing. Connor McDavid had another amazing season. In 2024 to 2025, he scored 100 points in 67 games. In the playoffs, he scored 33 points in 22 games. That was the most in the league. He was named playoff MVP, even though the Oilers lost in the finals. Because of his great numbers, McDavid is more valuable than ever. If he signs a short deal, he can sign again in a few years for a lot more money. Some people believe he could make over $18 million per year in his next deal. That would be the highest ever in NHL history. This kind of deal gives the player more power. Usually teams like long contracts, but short deals let players choose more often. They can pick better teams or wait for the salary cap to go up. That's why this is such a big deal. Right now, McDavid has a $12.5 million cap hit. If he signs again soon, that number could go way up. If he waits, it might go even higher. And that's why this decision is so important. It affects not just him, but the whole NHL. Some reporters say McDavid may take a deal with only 2 or 3 years. That would give him the chance to test the market again very soon. And if he wins a Stanley Cup in that time, he could leave Edmonton as a free agent and pick any team he wants. Connor McDavid's next contract could change everything. It might change how young players sign their first big deals. It might change how teams plan their future. And it might change how much money top stars can make. This is why so many people are watching July 1st. That's the day McDavid is allowed to start contract talks.